So it's a bit of a tradition around here to open these videos with a little skit, and since it's coming up on Christmas, the new movie's releasing, then I figured I'd give you a little present just inside this here bag. And one could say it's not totally unlike a big long snake. What? Oh my god, no, it's just a squishy banana. That's Oh, this, oh, I forgot to wear pants today, that's all. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another video. That's right, we're looking at another movie franchise, that, of course, being Anaconda. The new one's coming out on Christmas. So, happy holidays! But yeah, in order to begin, we have to start with Anaconda from 1997.
There's something down there.
That's right.
No, I really mean it.
I really mean it too.
Anaconda.
And let me preface this by saying that of all the creature feature horror movies that I've seen, I don't particularly tend to think they're great. And by creature feature, I do mean real animals or like hybrid animals. I don't tend to think they are very good movies. I usually look toward them for maybe a fun, goofy time, not necessarily a well-made, super well put together movie. I think this first movie though is pretty good and I enjoy it quite a bit. A lot of big stars in this one. We have Jennifer Lopez, Ice Cube, Owen Wilson, Jon Voight, probably others too that I'm forgetting, but like, oh my god, I don't know what happened to get all of this cast together, but I'm glad it did because it makes for a better movie because most of these people actually know how to act. We will not be seeing that later in the franchise, so enjoy it while you can. As far as like plot and everything, Anaconda's a fairly simple idea. It's not anything extraordinary. J-Lo and her friends, I guess, are out on the Amazon looking for a native tribe that has historically worshipped snakes. They want to do a documentary. So we are kind of faced with a bit of a slightly racist premise, setup, and execution. And it's not like the worst thing I've ever seen. It's just, it could have been done a little better. But basically, at some point, the gang encounters a stranded man played by Jon Voight, and he is a poacher. He kind of skirts around that question in the beginning. He is just the most fun part about this movie for me by far. I absolutely love Jon Voight's performance in this movie. Frankly, he's the reason I enjoyed this movie as much as I did. It's not like it's goofy. It's played very seriously, but his character he's a character. He's not like what you would expect just some normal guy to be. He is a character with some interesting positive choices being done in terms of the acting department. Yeah, I mean, the twist is that Jon Voight's character starts to get things going in the wrong direction because he's after the large anaconda and wants it for money. He puts like a wasp or something in some guy's oxygen scuba gear thing, which stings him, and then he's in like a coma basically for the rest of the movie. And obviously we get some anaconda action. This is the first movie in this franchise released in 1997. This is the best the anaconda ever looks in the franchise. It does not go up, it only goes down. And trust me, it's not like the anaconda is the most superb effect I've ever seen in a movie. They do mix in some practical elements here and there, which I appreciate, but a lot of it is digital effects. I actually think it looks pretty decent. It doesn't look bad necessarily, it just doesn't look 100% right. I guess one of the issues I have with this movie is that I don't care about all of the characters that much. Again, they're played by good actors for the most part, so I do enjoy them enough. It's just, I'm not exactly like rooting for them, if that makes any sense. For instance, J-Lo and Ice Cube are here, and they're essentially the main characters, and they are the ones that end up surviving this ordeal. But I kind of just think they're fine. Jonathan Hyde is in this movie. He just always kills it. He's in Jumanji, if you don't know, as the hunter guy. Jonathan Hyde kills it in this movie. I really like his character, so hell yeah. Now, it is a creature feature, so hopefully the kills are cool, right? I guess. Almost all of the kills are the exact same thing, and that's fine, because what's a large anaconda gonna do differently, you know? It's not like they would grow spikes on their tails and start killing people with their tails. That would be crazy, right? Right? I mean, the kills are kind of just fine. I think the coolest one to me is when Jonathan Hyde's character is like falling and then the anaconda coils around him as he's falling and lifts him up. It looks really good. It's a mix between practical and visual effects, like he's actually falling and a wire pulls him up. And then the end of the movie, Ice Cube and J-Lo, they blow up some place and Jon Voight gets eaten. It does regurgitate Jon Voight at J-Lo at one point. It's kind of the cheesiest part of this movie, because even though he's dead and he gets spit on out of this snack, he winks at her. I'm not going to have a lot to say about these movies because they're fairly simple. Again, I do enjoy Anaconda quite a bit. I think it is good, and it's time for the next movie.
This expedition is over.
I can't let you turn back now.
Anacondas, the hunt for the blood orchid.
All right, and now we have Anacondas, the hunt for the blood orchid from 2004. That's right, we get a pluralized horror title. The reputation is not always great. I think Aliens is probably the exception. I guess let me know in the comments below, but this one is, it's fine. Whereas I thought Anaconda was good, I think this one's just kind of fine, but it's not the most exciting thing ever. It's just kind of a slightly weaker version of the original movie. But what is important to note is that this movie does not necessarily sit in the continuity, or rather I should say it splits the continuity of the Anaconda franchise. This time they're in Borneo. They're not at the Amazon. I'm not really sure why they did this, to be honest with you. It's kind of confusing to me because it seems like there is another native tribe of people that also worship these large snakes. It's weird to me that they would change the location, but yeah, here we are. We got multiple anacondas. We're in Borneo, and this movie is important because it sets up basically the main plot points of the next several movies. Oh man, so the blood orchid, it's a thing. I believe they're called Wexler Pharmaceuticals. They've discovered a rare orchid called the blood orchid that blooms once every like 7 years or something, and it's in bloom for like 2 more weeks. So they're going to look for these blood orchids because they've been doing some tests and they think they can basically make the Fountain of Youth pill. They end up enlisting the help of these 2 guys who know the river. It's just all people that are here to live and or die, which I know is obvious, but when I say these movies are simple, they're really fucking simple. Like, these characters, they hardly have any depth to them. They're here to live or to die. There are a few characters here that are decent, but you know, like it's just not enough for me. 3 of the actors in this movie go on to star in 3 separate medical dramas. Nicholas Gonzalez, character named Dr. Ben, he goes on to star in The Good Doctor, the I Am a Doctor one, that one. We have Morris Chestnut, his character's name is Gordon. He goes on to star in Watson, where he plays Watson. And then we have Eugene Bird, whose character name is Cole, and he goes on to star in Bones. I don't know, I just thought that was an interesting coincidence that 3 of them would go on to star in medical dramas. And yes, I did know that by recognizing the actors from the shows. So again, the plot is pretty similar, but this time around, most of the movie is not on a boat. They kind of go over a waterfall pretty early on, and then they have to trek through Borneo for most of it, and they're on foot. I do like it because it sets up some little fun scenes that are different from the original. It's a little bit unique in a way compared to things. They made new content. At one point, one of the researchers researcher guys ends up pulling the I'm the villain guy twist. Also, they copy the person gets like paralyzed by a bug. This time it's by a stone spider. They explain the reason why the Anacondas is so big, and the explanation is that they are eating the blood orchids. And then the end of the movie, there's a snake orgy. There's a Chekhov snake orgy. It should have been really cool. It wasn't though. If you're gonna Chekhov's snake orgy me, at least make it fun and cool and interesting. It's just kind of a lame ending set piece that doesn't really look or feel that good. And like I said, the actual snakes do look worse in this movie. They're still not terrible, but there's an interesting thing in this movie where they look worse the more the movie progresses. Anyway, that's Anacondas, the fucking hunt for whatever blood orchid, yo mama. Next movie.
Once you see this thing, you unload everything you can until it stops moving, and you shoot only for the head.
David Hasselhoff, Crystal Allen, Anaconda 3, Offspring.
All right, and now we have Anaconda 3 Offspring from 2008. This is where the movies get really bad, folks. Not even in a fun way, not even in a so bad they're good way. At least my personal feelings are not that. I think they're just genuinely really bad. I don't really enjoy them much at all. This one is slightly passable, and part of the reason is because it has David Hasselhoff in it. Not that he does much or is that exciting of a character, but it is David Hasselhoff, so I mean, you know, that's cool. I think it's Wexler now. They have a lab where they have blood orchids. Even though the last movie failed to obtain the blood orchids, apparently they sent out more people or something and they got them. 7 years later, maybe? I don't fucking know. And they are making a serum and testing it, and it's so far toxic in humans, but they're still testing it on snakes. Wow, would you believe it? The snake break free and leaves and kills people. We're also in Europe now, so we don't even get like a cool jungle to look at. We just get to look at generic fucking woods the entire movie. Also, the snake does in fact have a spiked tail now that it kills people with. It shoots out its tail at people, stabs them, and kills them. Also, this snake, this anaconda, a species famous for constricting and swallowing their prey whole, decides to bite off body parts and maim people and not eat them. It'll just like bite off someone's head and then not do anything with the rest of the body. Not only does it not make sense, it's just kind of fucking stupid. But basically, there's this rich guy named Murdoch, and he is funding this, I guess. Obviously, he's gonna end up being a bad guy because he's a rich guy. Frankly, it doesn't really matter because he's hardly in this movie. He has cancer and is dying. And then there's a little fucking cuck boy named Pincus. I'm not kidding, that's his name. It's Pincus. I kind of enjoy him in this movie. At one point, he goes with the expedition team to hunt down the snake. He's just in the background slathering sunscreen on his arms. Obviously, I'm not gonna make fun of people for using sunscreen. Listen, my mom died of skin cancer. Wear sunscreen. But it's really funny to me that this man, this little cuck boy, in the middle of an expedition hunting down a large fucking 60-foot long snake, decides to lather on some sunscreen on his arms. As for the other characters, I'm very neutral on them. There is also a main final girl. Her name is Amanda. She was working at the lab. She's a herpetologist. She's in charge of the snakes, and so she feels guilty and she wants to help stop the snake from killing people. However, the snake is pregnant, so it is about to give birth. And just so you know, anacondas do not lay eggs. They give live birth And that happens in this movie. Also, this movie has a really bad predator vision for the snake. It's basically just what if they smeared a little bit of honey on the lens. Again, these snakes are supposed to have heat vision. It's not heat vision. They can detect heat though. The whole point of this thing is that they let Amanda copy Predator where she falls in some mud and then the snake can't detect her. But here's the thing. This does not come into play ever. This is the one and only time she slips in mud. She discovers that she cannot be detected by the snake. And then we still have like half of the movie, and this does not come back. They don't use this at all. It's just to copy Predator one time. I also think it's funny because you can tell this movie is bad because 99% of the times you see any of the actors inside a vehicle, it is green screen or blue screen or whatever they're using. It's distracting. And the worst part is it's at times when they really don't need to use it. They have vehicles on set that they interact with. So even when the vehicle is stationary and they're not driving, why are the actors inside on green screen? Why could you not just record that on location? I don't get it. And there is also a scene where a car crashes and it's on its side and Amanda is inside of it. And you can see what I'm pretty sure is one guy from the crew walking past in the background. Snake also look awful, really fucking bad. The kind of interesting thing is that it increases the kills and gore, but like I said, it's all stupid where a snake is just like biting a person. It's ridiculous, and I didn't really enjoy this movie, but it was like maybe slightly okay sometimes. Next movie.
First, it was discovered. Then, it evolved. Now, terror mutates. Anacondas, Trail of Blood.
All right, and now we have Anacondas, Trail of Blood from 2009. And yeah, this movie came out a year after the last one. The reason that is, I'm pretty sure, is that I think they kind of just recorded these movies back to back. Because Amanda is back, so is the rich guy Murdoch. It is again pretty much a direct continuation of the last previous movie. In this movie, some guy has a snake and he has blood orchids and he is doing his own stuff and he is once again making a serum, but he has improved the serum. And so now, get this, the snake can regenerate. Oh, fuck, this movie is really bad. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. This is one of the worst movies I've seen this year. In fact, I think in my overall ranking, I've put it in second to last place. There's a lot of inconsistencies here, weirdly, and I'm gonna get to that, but the plot is Murdoch sends a group of people to find the new serum and obtain it for himself or to save himself from cancer. And Amanda is there, I guess. She's looking for it because she wants to destroy it because she feels bad for helping create the snakes. And Murdoch is also telling these people to kill her for some reason. Then there's also a random kid there. He's a teenager. And then there's also a random group of paleontologists, of which there's one man who is Johnny Cage, the same actor as Johnny Cage from the Mortal Kombat movie. Not the new one. But this movie is a mess. I feel like you can kind of grasp that from what I just told you. There's so many people, so many groups of individuals that are not necessary here. There's just a lot of people that don't matter and have no involvement in the plot at all, but they just kind of are here. But the writing is pretty bad, especially for the characters. I don't know, I guess the way I'll say this is Amanda helps the kid. Johnny Cage has a girlfriend that, wow, would you believe it? She gets bit by a bug and then has a fever for the rest of the movie. So we're still not very original here. There's another guy from the paleontology club and he has a girlfriend as well. And then Murdoch has like 5 goons and the goons start killing people as well as the snakes start killing people. Hey, what? Hey. What the fuck is happening? A lot of people die and several of them escape. Amanda destroys the blood orchids and she destroys the snakes. Kind of. We see that one of them is still alive at the end of the movie so they can make a sequel, of course. I have a list of things that I need to tell you. So here's that list. 1. The guy in the beginning calls them black orchids, despite them being blood orchids, which are famously red. Like blood. 2. Amanda says that she studies flowers. This is not true. She's a herpetologist. 3. One of the goons announces that he is going to step outside from the house. He does this so he can piss on a tree. He was in a fucking house with a bathroom? So this is just a very lame plot to get him to go outside where the fucking anaconda is so I can kill him. What the fuck, bad writing? What the fuck? 4. For some reason, the anacondas are attracted to the blood orchid serum. It doesn't really make any sense at all, but that's a stupid ass plot point that they use. 5. Rich guy Murdoch drives to the paleontology camp. Many major plot points in this movie revolve around that road being blocked off by a fallen tree. It's a whole thing. People can't leave because there's a tree blocking the path. So I went, did he unblock the road? No, because when the group gets back to escape, they have to switch vehicles in order to get past the fallen log. What the fuck, bad writing? What the fuck? 6, they gave the snake stupid ass fucking functioning eyebrows. Do I need to say more? Or 7, the anaconda bites Murdoch's head off. We know that the serum he injected has worked on him, so in theory he should regenerate like the anacondas do. Okay. 8, one of the paleo guys has a girlfriend, not Johnny Cage. This guy's girlfriend gets shot by one of the goons. He is the one that has to hold back Johnny Cage from attacking the goons. This girl was not Johnny Cage's girlfriend. This girl was this guy's girlfriend. This guy does not show any sadness in her dying. And then this guy also has like a weird romance plot with Amanda, and he kisses her and he sacrifices himself for her. I genuinely think they forgot that this girl was his girlfriend. 9, at one point Amanda says that there are 2 snakes. There are not 2 snakes. That's all I have to say about this terrible movie. Next movie.
And the hunt is on for their favorite food, sorority girls.
I'm bored. Make them swim. Get in the water.
They're giving Hell Week a whole new meaning. Lake Placid versus Anaconda.
All right, and now we have Lake Placid versus Anaconda from 2015. It's like Alien versus Predator. Except really, really bad. So I haven't watched all of the Lake Placid movies. I'm sure I'll do that at some point, but this movie, it does unfortunately continue the plot of the previous 3 Anaconda movies, so hooray. Basically, Murdoch has a daughter who is now in charge of the Wexler pharmaceutical company. Somehow, some way, they have figured out that in order to make the serum not toxic in humans, which by the way was figured out in the last movie, but I guess would technically have been undone because Amanda destroyed all of the serum. So I'm gonna let this one slide, but just barely. But apparently in order to make the serum not toxic in humans, they need to do testing on the crocodiles from Lake Placid. From the movie Lake Placid. From the Lake Black. Yeah, I still think it's stupid that the actual lake in the movie Lake Placid is not called Lake Placid. Basically, Wexler has collected some specimens, including 2 anacondas, I think, a male and a female maybe, and the female is pregnant again. She lays eggs in this one. Can I be honest with you guys? These last 3 Anaconda movies, if I were given the opportunity to burn them at the stake, I might. But yeah, the fucking things go wrong. The vehicle explodes. Crocodiles and the anacondas are free. They escape Lake Black, which has been like quarantined basically, and they go to another lake called Clear Lake or something, which coincidentally has a group of sorority girls there, mostly so we can show some TNA. One of the girls is the daughter of a park ranger or something, and he is here and he helps save the day alongside a sheriff named Reba. I believe this is her third Lake Placid movie that she's been in. She also helps save the day. The entire movie is mostly just people dying, mostly sorority girls, and I guess the group of Wexler goons that Murdoch's daughter has brought along with her to recapture the anacondas. The anacondas are kind of barely in this movie. They don't really show up until the end. This is mostly just a Lake Placid movie. They do kind of fight the crocodiles and the anacondas, but it's not really a battle either, because the anacondas kind of pretty much win every fight. Also, they all look really bad once again, including the crocodiles. I question if this is the worst that they look in any of the movies. I think the acting in this movie is god awful. Again, not even in a funny way. For some reason though, Robert Englund is here. I don't know how the fuck they got him to be in this movie, but he's here. There are a couple of characters that are fine to me. The Sheriff Reba is fine. The father is fine. Honestly, his daughter is kind of not great, but I like the alternative girl that she's friends with. Yeah, that's it actually. That's it. Here, I have another short list for you, actually. 1, the female anaconda lays eggs. We should know this. 2, quote, I don't think any guy minds if we suck, if you get my politically incorrect innuendo. And that's from the alternative girl. What's the joke? Is the joke that sucking dick is politically incorrect? 3, at one point, snakeskin falls on Robert Englund, and by snakeskin I mean a tarp that they just kind of pretend is snakeskin. I think all of these movies have had or shown off snakeskin before, and it actually looks fine and good. This movie, it's like a fucking brown tarp. 4, according to Murdoch's daughter, Murdoch, quote, spent most of his life perfecting the blood orchid serum, end quote. Yeah, that's not true at all. He funded the research in the third movie, but he didn't do anything to perfect the serum. And in the fourth movie, he just steals another guy's serum. 5, the only positive note that I have in this list is that we get an inside snake camera of a guy who self-sacrifices himself with a grenade. So we see him inside of the anaconda. I think it's kind of stupid, but I am surprised this is the first time we're seeing it in one of these movies, and it's not bad, unlike this movie. Alright, next movie. Alright, and now we have Anaconda from 2024. This movie has a subtitle, I think. Maybe. But basically, this is a Chinese reimagining of the original movie. And I actually already talked about this in my 75 horror movies video. I think that this is pretty good. I'm going to be honest, I did not rewatch it for this because I didn't want to, but I do think that this movie is fine. It's kind of on par with the second Anaconda movie, where I think it's still pretty decent, but it's just, you know, it is what it is. The same plot's generally the same. They encounter a poacher who is evil. There's an anaconda, the scarlet anaconda, I think. Well, there are multiple anacondas, actually, and, well, they kill people. It's a group of circus performers. For some reason, I like the characters a decent amount in this one. I think they're fun. I don't get that in a lot of these movies, so I'll take it in this one. I also think that the snake effects look fairly decent. They're definitely an improvement over most of these movies. I still think the first Anaconda, the original, looks better. I don't have much to say about this one, but note that I think it's fine, and it's not a terrible watch. But now we have to get to the rankings. Alright everybody, let's rank these movies. In last place, aka 6th place, We have Anacondas, The Trail of Blood, aka Anaconda 4. This is a very bad movie. I thought it was one of the worst I have seen this year. So it definitely is really fucking bad. I don't like really anything about this. None of the characters are that good. Johnny Cage couldn't save it. In fifth place, we have Lake Placid versus Anaconda. Again, another really bad movie. I guess slightly better than Anaconda 4. Very slightly. It's just maybe a little bit more fun. It has a couple of characters that I enjoy. Yeah, that's where this one goes. In fourth place, we have Anaconda 3, Offspring. Oh man, these later Anaconda movies are truly really bad, and this is the better of them. It's still not a good movie. This one has David Hasselhoff. I just think this one's slightly better made than the others. Lightly more entertaining. So yeah. In third place, we have Anaconda from 2024, the Chinese reimagining. I think this is where the movies are actually watchable, and I think that this is a decent, fine movie. I don't think it's anything to write home about. If you're watching the original movie, I don't necessarily think you need to watch this movie, but I don't think this movie's terrible. I like the characters in it. In second place, we have Anacondas, The Hunt for the Blood Orchid, aka Anaconda 2. Yeah, again, like I said, this just feels like a slightly worse version of the original movie. It has some moments that I do like more, I think, or at least it does some ideas that make it a little more variable and interesting throughout, but I think it's fine. If you're gonna watch the Anaconda franchise or you want to watch any of the movies, I think watching the original and then this one, perfectly fine. And then the remake if you want. And then first place is, of course, Anaconda, the original. I think that this is kind of the only actually somewhat good movie in the franchise. Anaconda 2 and the Chinese reimagining are fine. I wouldn't say they're good though. I think Anaconda actually is just good sometimes. Yeah, I like Jon Voight in this one. That's my ranking of the Anaconda franchise. Gonna be honest, I lost steam at the end of this because, frankly, really bad movies at the end. It kind of hurt me to do. Hey, are you excited for Anaconda, the new one that's coming out on Christmas? Let me know. Have you seen any of these movies? What are your thoughts? Leave them down below. I'm always happy to know. How would you rank the movies? Do you also really dislike the later ones like I do? I can't be alone, right? Anyway, I hope you're having a fantastic day. I hope your holidays are going well. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.